and enjoy the day. Thank you so much. And I appreciate my team from Mombasa campus for hosting us here. Thank you so much. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all.
Thank you. That was our chairman, Brother Abdurrashid. I would now like to call upon Naifin Najim, who is also the chairlady of Msaun Mombasa campus, to give out her opening remarks and also go on to delve onto the topic of university life as a Muslim student. She's going to tell us her experience throughout university and how she has been curbing some challenges, how she has been going through things, and yeah, inshallah. Sister Naifin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you can all hear me. Girls, yes? And I want to sincerely thank each one of you for taking your time here today to come. You know, when you send out invitations and when you plan something huge like this, a lot of effort goes into it. And it means so much to us when you actually come and you take time out of your day to attend an event like this. So my sincere gratitude to the teachers who had our call. You know, when we called teachers from around the schools and they responded with such energy, it gave us so much hope. So I take this opportunity to formally welcome you. Okay. To welcome you to University of Nairobi Mombasa campus. My name is Naifin Najim, and I'm a fourth-year law student. I am graduating in December, inshallah, and I'm also the chair lady of the Muslim Student Association of University of Nairobi. And when I was preparing my speech today, I thought about what I wanted to say. You know, I wanted to write a speech. I wanted to talk about education. I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to, you know, summarize my speech into hadiths, so that even as we reflect as Muslim students, we reflect upon the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I would like to start off with the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that says that إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى. That all actions are gauged with their intentions. And I remember telling my committee every time because when you plan things like this, I hope I can be heard. Girls, Numa. And when you plan things like this, conflicts happen. And people, you know, we argue, and you know, internal conflicts happen. And I remember telling my team throughout that we need to renew our intentions. We need to sit and think about why we're doing this, why you students have come. I know you're young students and it's high school and you're in high school, and it's hard to think about the concept of pleasing Allah tied to your education, because the idea we are sold from primary when you're doing your KCPE is you need to get 400 and plus so you can get into in high school. You need to score good grades so you can go to university, graduate, get a good job, make lots of money, and take care of your family. And we forget in the process to tie all that and make it a source of ibadah. If you think about it, the stage is moving, guys, I'm panicking. Yeah, so if you think about it, if your intention, every morning you wake up and go to school, your intention is that I'm seeking knowledge, because the Prophet ﷺ says that, there are many hadiths about knowledge, but the Prophet ﷺ, the most important hadith we heard throughout when we were young is that seek knowledge wherever it is, until the Prophet mentioned as-Sin, which is China, although there are some narrations that say that hadith has, you know, it's not Hassan and it's da'if, but the essence of it is that knowledge and seeking knowledge is tied to the Prophet ﷺ in the hadith and the ahkam. And for me, I would like to also go back to the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ says that the most beloved person to Allah is the kind one, the person that people can easily go to. Like today, if I can call Mr. Bilal here, and I know that Mr. Bilal Nimtu very understanding, that if I call him, I have a problem, even today I tell him, Mr. Bilal, we can't accommodate you here, you have to leave. He will just say, oh, it's okay, I understand, and walk out. And you know, and I'm not saying I want to tell him to leave, I'm just saying that the essence is that we need to work around being people who are, people that are kind, people that are understanding, people that want to always give good benefit to others. I look back to my high school life and even university, in essence like bullying. Nowadays we have the internet and every one of us is a global citizen. When you log into the internet, when you're on Instagram, you're not a student from Mombasa, you're a global citizen who can comment on anything, who can like anything, who can access any website in the world. I know, do you guys know about the dark web? I don't want to give you informations, but basically the internet is a very dangerous place. Hey, Sacred Heart is calling me, Madam Aziza, can you please call Madam Sauda and director? She's calling me and, sorry. Yeah, so, yeah, what was I saying? We all have access to the internet. My cousin brother who's 10 years old has his phone. He goes on YouTube, he can make edits, he can watch shorts, he can comment. So I can imagine how much power each one of us has. And I want you to reflect today, even as we talk about university life as a student, I want you to reflect on who you are as a person. Are you kind? Are you the person that people can easily go to when they have issues? Are you a person that is easily approachable? Like if I look at you, can I come to you and tell you, I have an issue when I have a small problem, can you help me? Are you a person that wants to go out of your way for other people? I know we think about, we live in a world where we are told, oh, something, don't go out of your way for people who will not do the same for you. But we must remember always that we are Muslims, that we are Christians, that we have religious values that tie us to our identity. And when you think about it, as I transitioned into university life, Msaun played a very critical part in shaping who I was. Because the day before yesterday, we had a small issue that we were sorting out as a committee. Abdurrashid and Zahra will tell you that. And I spoke to someone that we had asked the VEN for a venue too. And they had agreed to give us a venue, and then I had to call to say that because of ease of the central place of University of Nairobi, we're using University of Nairobi. So thank you so much for giving us that venue, but it's a bit far and we can't use it. I don't know if he's watching this live, but I remember having to talk to this person who's a very big person, a very good sponsor to Msaun, and super helpful. And the first thing he says to me when I'm very frustrated is that, Naifin, understand these things happen, and understand that your intentions are to please Allah. So before you get frustrated, before you get angry, before you start to think, oh, he messed up, oh, she messed up, think about how you can make things better. Wake up every day to think about, okay, this is me, I want to make things better. Not for myself, not only for myself, my teacher is here, Mr. Farid. Mr. Farid taught me in high school. So, that was not even what my speech was about. I had prepared a written speech, but I'm not one to read speeches word for word. So I'd like to get into it. University life as a Muslim student. Why I spoke about university life and tied it to being a Muslim student. You know, throughout high school, especially for the Muslim girls, we were structured in a routine. You go to school from 8 a.m., you come back from 5 a.m., your parents know exactly where you are, exactly when, and then they keep track of you. They keep track of your time. But you go to university and literally it's a web. University is this, you know how a cobweb looks like? And you can put your finger inside of it and it gets stuck. That is exactly how university life is. And right now I have a lot of freedom because I'm in my 4th year, I'm graduating. In fact, I only have to tell my dad I'm going to do this, and I don't think I've faced any resilience, or no, you can't do this, or no, and I'm just saying this for the purpose of education. I went to Brazil this year for a competition, and to think of it for a Muslim girl to be allowed all the way to South America, that is not even it's not even a majority of Muslim country. You know, if you say North America, it's okay, they're Muslim there, but to think about it, all the way to South America, for me to ask my dad for permission, and for me to be given that permission, I look back and think about how it took a lot of effort. If I was in Form 1, in my 1st or 2nd year, and had been given that freedom, I would have misused it. For sure, I will tell you this very honestly. If I'd gone to Brazil in my 2nd year, I would have definitely misused that opportunity. But with time and with age, there comes a maturity. And I want to reflect on this journey, and my friends can speak for me, because when you're a Muslim student and you come to university, you don't just carry, or even in high school, you don't just carry who you are. Like Mu'ad read the Quran here for us. Tomorrow we see Mu'ad, I would like to use you as an example, but tomorrow I see Mu'ad out there and he's stealing, or I see Mu'ad out there, he's on a date to the girl, or I see Mu'ad, I think to myself, wasn't this the Mu'ad that read Quran for us? Wasn't this the Mu'ad that was an ambassador of Islam? So these are things that I want us to reflect about even as we journey through high school life. And Abu Hurairah is just sitting down. My alma mater school. Yes. You know, when I was in Brazil, I was talking to a young girl, and she asked me about Islam. And we were just seated in a random sitting where you wouldn't even think someone would ask you about your religion. And I had to ask her, like, why would you ask me this? She's a very devoted Christian. And she said, because you wore your abaya the whole time. Like the whole time you were there, you wore your abaya. And I remember thinking, oh, maybe I could wear a dress. Maybe, as long as it's modest, it's okay, right? As long as it's modest, it's in Brazil. Literally the whole world, I'm out there alone. But the fact that you dress up modestly, the fact that you carry with you your hijab, the fact that you carry your Islam with you, it really goes so much deeper than we can ever think about. To have something like Islam that anchors you is something so profound, because when you look at it, I'm studying law, but when you look at it, even when I'm discussing with my classmates, everything that is there in, the legal aspect, economic, social, political, Islam has a direction. You look into the Quran says, for inheritance, the Quran describes inheritance. You look into knowledge and seeking knowledge, the Quran describes it. You look into politics and how the Prophet ﷺ and the Khulafa al-Rashidin ruled for so many years, and you see that, oh, politically, we even have a path. And this is for me not to say that secular education is not important. It is so important. And nothing has shaped me more than my identity as a person who is a law student. That I wake up in the morning, I have a class, I wake up in the morning, I have a test, I want to do better, I want to do my best. And I was reflecting on this. I like to reflect a lot, and it reminds me of, I remember reflecting a lot and reading a lot of things on social media where they say that you're journaling or you're mediating. And then I thought to myself, why am I linking this, something that I love doing, to ideologies that are not Islamic? So I looked into it, and I found that even the Prophet ﷺ, when he would go to Cave Hira, what would he do? He would contemplate life. He would think about his life. The Prophet Ibrahim, what would he do? He would do the same thing. So even as we reflect, I want you to take time to think about these things, even on your daily life. After today, why did I come to this event? Why am I here in this Msaun conference? Is it because it's a chance on a Saturday I'm supposed to be in class, I don't want to be in class? Is it because it's the University of Nairobi, I want to go and see it, which is fair? Because if I was in high school and I had a chance to come see a university, I would be like, I want to. But I want us to also renew our intentions right here where we are seated, that I am here only for Allah. Even if you haven't thought why for Allah, how for Allah, but simply that you are here for Allah's sake. Zahra, please help me pick up this phone. That you're simply here for Allah's sake. And I wanted to also reflect on another hadith, because when I wanted to say something, I lost my train of thought, but I wanted to reflect on one other hadith, because I'm very close to my father and my mother, but I had a talk with my father the past 2 days. And he just calls me, I was at my grandmother's, and he said to me, umenikalia rohoni sana. And I don't think you're the Naifin I raised, or the Naifin that would encourage us all the time, because I was the kind of person who would be like, we need to do this as a family, we need to sit down and do this. Oh, there's a sunnah fast, let's all fast. Oh, there's this. But then he said, lately, all you do is wake up, go to work, come home, work on your laptop, that's it. We don't even hear you. Like, we don't even, my mother was even saying, I don't want to say this on camera, but he was even saying that I don't think I've heard your voice reciting the Quran lately. And as I reflected on it, I realized that even when I read the Quran, I was most probably only reading it on my way to work or on my way to school, because I'm just on my phone, so I'm reading it silently. But even the aspect of reading it in loudly, or the aspect of being vocal about your religion, it goes away when you get attached to the dunya. And it reminded me of the hadith, and I had to really sit down and say, you know, this makes sense. My father is right. He's not even saying it as a way to punish or as a way to discourage. He's saying it because he genuinely cares about me and my akhirah. And I thought of the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ says that whoever, I will say it in English because I don't remember the exact wording in Arabic, but if someone does and they raise their hand and say it, Abdul Rashid here will give them a gift. Right, Abdul Rashid? Yes. But the wording is that whoever makes the dunya his biggest concern, Allah put all his affairs for him in place. Like your concern is just to please Allah. You wake up in the morning, you're worried about pleasing Allah. And how are you worried about pleasing Allah? You're going to class, you're doing the right thing. If you're doing anything haram, you're working towards, changing it. You're in a relationship, you're in your whatever, you're working towards getting out of it. And this is not to shame anyone. We're young and I know that mistakes happen, but I just want us to reflect or even feel guilty. The least we can do is feel guilty about our sins. Not normalize it, not say, oh, you can't judge me, or I can't judge someone else. This is how we go wrong as a society. Because if I told myself, oh, my father is judging me, he doesn't know what I'm doing in secret, I would have become a very arrogant child and would have missed the lesson by a mile. But for me to maybe think about it and think, I'm human, I make mistakes. Even though Allah says, what does Allah say in the Quran, that if He had wanted us to not sin at all, He would have made all of us angels, because the angels don't sin, but He knew that we would sin as human beings. And remember about the Zahra, please let me know if I'm going out of time. But I remember about, I was in another hadith, and now I'm jumping to another hadith. But back to my first hadith, where if you make Allah your biggest concern, Allah sets all your affairs right for you. But Allah also says that, and whoever makes the dunya his biggest concern, which was becoming slightly me. You wake up, my fard salah, onto whatever case I'm working on, onto whatever project I'm working on, onto reports, reading a case law, summarizing it. I want to have this Msaun conference. I want to host it. I want to please Allah. But then I'm forgetting the basic fard sunnah. I'm forgetting to please Allah in the way that He wants me to please Him. By, my fard salah, and making sure that I am speaking to Allah and my focus is on salah at that time. And I go back to the second part of the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ says, and the Prophet does not speak except it is haqq. And the Prophet does not speak except it passes to be. And he says that, the Prophet ﷺ, he says that if you make the dunya your biggest concern, فَرَّقَ اللَّهُ شَمْلَهُ, Allah distorts your affairs for you. So you can be doing everything right. You're waking up in the morning, you pray your Fajr Salah, and you're busy, and praying your Fajr Salah, you're going to class, you're hardworking, you're doing your tuitions, but you're disobedient to your mother. You're an A-class student in your class. You're the top position in your class, but you're rude and arrogant to your teachers. You're doing everything right in the dunya to give you what you want, and you might get it. And because Allah, the Prophet ﷺ says that, and if he does this and makes the ad-dunya shamlahu, Allah will only give him what is prescribed for him. So maybe Allah wrote it in the Quran that you would get an A+ in KCSE. Allah will give it to you because it was written for you, not because of your hard work. But Allah says if you put Him first, He not only gives you what was written for you, but He makes your entire affairs right for you. And I remember when I was in Abu Huraira and I went to speak to that school. I remember some of you who were very little back then, but my friends in school, I still talk to them and they shaped who I am. I remember I had friends where now I look back and I think about how that shapes who you are as a Muslim. My friends would tell me, we had a short break between, I think, 11 to 11:10, just 10 minutes. And my friends would tell me, let's go and pray Duha. And we would compete about how many rakahs we've prayed. And now I'm in university, and I think to myself, okay, this is university, but we're not always all the time together. If we meet in class, we're meeting for 3 hours, then we have departed. In fact, right now our classes are online. But I think to myself, if I don't have a friend like that, why am I not that friend? Why am I not, I will name my friends, why am I not Roman? Why am I not Khadra? Why am I not Farha, who shaped Naifin? I remember one of my friends, Farha, she taught me how to stay in wudu, like to constantly stay in wudu. And this is something I had never even thought about, because when we go to pray, we do wudu, that's it. But we don't think about staying in a constant nature of wudu. And I remember every time we would go to pray, I didn't even think, do I have wudu, do I not have wudu? I'm just doing wudu because what are we taught? Before prayers, we have to do wudu. And she would tell me, like, why are you doing wudu? Don't you have wudu? And I'm like, no, I don't remember. And she said, why don't you keep track of being in a state of wudu? Like, why do you let yourself be impure of something that is so minor, that 5 minutes, the bathroom is right there, you go use the bathroom, do wudu. And that is something I think about. How many years has that been? We were in Form 3 at that time. That's 5 years ago, and it's something I still think about, and it's something I have shared to 200 students today. So do not be, worried about what people will think of you when you wear your faith, worried about if people will think you're boring, or if people will think, oh, he doesn't like to have fun, or you're so boring, all that you lose friends. The friends that are meant to come into your life will find you. The friends that are, even your own friends, sometimes you have friends you don't share ideals with. But if you respect yourself, they respect your ideals for you, and you find a way to work things out together. I think I have around 8 minutes, so I will just finalize and hand over. But, okay, yeah. When I remember, I like to give stories when I'm reflecting on my journey, and I wanted to go to medical school so bad, like that's all I saw myself doing. I wanted to be a doctor, work in an institution, and I didn't meet the criteria for CUSPs to give me a scholarship. So I had to stay in Mombasa. I missed it by a few marks, and that's not to say, I missed it by a few marks. And I remember thinking that, my life is done. I had a whole idea of I wanted to be a doctor. That's all I saw myself doing. I did all sciences in school. I didn't even want to do history or business or, to do law. And then at that same time, my dad did not want me to go to Nairobi. And I was in a very depressive stage in my life. And I met 3 people who told me to pray istikhara. And I prayed istikhara. Before I met the 3 people, I prayed istikhara to ask Allah to guide me. And that same day, I went to visit our neighbor. And as I walked in, she just told me, I think you would be a great lawyer. And I thought, maybe this could be a sign, but it's maybe not a sign. I go home, my uncle calls me and says, why don't you think of pursuing a law career like law? And I think to myself, and then I remember Mr. Farid, I don't know if Mr. Farid is still around, but Mr. Farid, when I was applying for CUSPs, told me, I think you should apply for law. Just apply to it. Apply medicine and then apply law. And I was like, no, I will not apply for law because I am definitely going to get into medicine and I will do medicine whatever it takes. That was the attitude I had back then. And then I came to this campus with my father, just to have a look at it. And when I came here, I met Professor Sarah Kinyanjui. She will come at 11 to give a speech. And she was the director at that time. She has now stepped down to take over the research project now because she's a professor now. But I met her, and the way she talked to us and explained the whole concept of law, I already felt like I was linked to this school. And before I know it, I'm applying, I'm paying my fees, I'm enrolled. First year goes to second year. In second year, I'm thinking, I never wanted this career. Why am I in a class with people that are so smart in something I don't want to do? Why am I in class with people that want to undermine you, you know, because you're studying with older people? And why am I in this place? And I remember telling my mom, I don't want to do law anymore. I want to drop out. I will do medicine. And I think my mom would always tell me that you've gotten so far, you know, just few more steps. And here I am, about to graduate, and I cannot imagine doing anything else. Like, I can't imagine being a doctor, looking at blood, looking at doing a surgery. I can't imagine it. And I'm telling this to you youngsters because we kind of think that we have a life plan and exactly how it's meant to be, that it has to be the way we think it has to be. That I will finish from 4, I will do this, I will do that, but we forget that we plan, Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. And it's usually hard at that moment to remember that Allah is the best of planners. If you had told me 5 years ago at 17 years that Allah is the best of planners, yes, I know Allah is the best of planners. Zahra said time. That Allah is the best of planners. How many minutes? I have 3 minutes. That Allah is the best of planners. I would have probably said, why is this person being mean? Why is this person trying to take away my feelings? You know how we think as teenagers, which is very valid. But with my 3 minutes left, I want to just tell you students that whatever you're working hard for, whatever ambition you have, Allah will see you through it. Like whatever dream that even feels impossible, Allah will see you through it. If you had told me 1 year ago that I would be in South America, representing the University of Nairobi. I didn't represent Mombasa campus. I represented the entire University of Nairobi. I probably would have said, nah. And I didn't even, you know, there's different paths to law. And I tried to fit into one, which is mooting. And when you're mooting, you're litigating. And for litigation is where you're very confrontational. You know what, Your Honor? This is what I think. This is what I tried that path, and I never made it to even top 5 position because everybody is so brilliant in that. Everybody is so amazing in the University of Nairobi. Then I found another path called alternative dispute resolution, where now I'm Naifin and I'm like, I hear you both. This is what we do. Let's solve this issue. And I found my footing there, and because it was a whole new field, I got into it, and that is how I made it, you know, to such a competition. And that is why I'm saying it here. And I have a classmate called Jasmine who will come to even talk about how she made it to France to represent for a high school, for a conference, for an international conference. And you will see that young girls like us who made it here in Mombasa, who could not go to university because they could not get in with KUSUPs, but still thrived on their own. And I have 1 minute left, so I would like to make a dua for all of you, that may Allah make all your studies easy for you. May He make your intentions pure for you. May Allah make our journeys meaningful all throughout our lives, as we study, as we get married, as we marry, as we have kids, as we grow into adults. May He grant us knowledge that benefits us, that benefits our communities, hearts that are very soft towards others and very kind, and a future that is filled with His light and His guidance. Ameen. And thank you so much. Jazakumullah khair.
Guys, mbona una clap hivyo? Give her a big round of applause. Okay. Thank you so much, Sister Naifin, and inshallah, may Allah make it easy for all of us. Next is Zahra Ahmed, that's myself. I'm going to be one of the speakers today too. And I'll be delving into the topic of academic excellence and leadership and how to balance between the two. Firstly, just a slight introduction about myself. I'm Zahra Abdullah Ahmed. I am a 3rd-year student at the University of Nairobi. I just finished my 3rd year actually. I'm going to be going into my 4th year next semester at the University of Nairobi, and I'm currently pursuing Bachelor of Commerce Accounting option. I don't study in Mombasa, I actually study in Nairobi. But Mimi, I'm from Mombasa. I went to Nairobi for my university studies. And I was just a little girl from Mombasa, nimeenda Nairobi. I don't know that place, it's been new for me. A new environment, new everything. So I was like, I just had to go. I'm gonna get exposure, it's gonna be good for me. So I was there, I'm like, okay, is there anything to do? Mimi itakuwa ni kusoma tu and nothing else. So as I went into university, you know, in university, it's not like high school whereby your whole day is packed with lessons na nini. You can have like 1 unit a day or 2 units a day, and then you have free time your whole time. So like your day is not really packed with studying na nini. And as you know, university, you go outside there, you decide it for yourself. You don't have your parents with you to decide, Zahra, do this, Zahra, do that. So like it's up to you how you conduct yourself, how you conduct your activities and everything. So I went to university. Me personally, I will say leadership is just in me. I can't just stay vive, I can't just stay idle. So I decided I'm going to delve into leadership. Since my first year of studies till now, I have been a leader, and alhamdulillah, it's been a great journey for me. And I would just like to urge all of you, don't shy away from leadership. All these opportunities, zikikuja, embrace them and just go ahead with it. And you know, there's that notion that students have, kwamba, oh, mimi nikikuwa leader, nikitake up on leadership positions, then I'm going to fail my exams, I won't have time to study na nini. So it's all about balancing, and I think I'll take you through the balancing between the two, your studies and also your leadership roles. So as students, I want you to think of your future. Did you know that colleges, universities, and also your employees outside there, they don't just look at your intellectual abilities, they look at well-rounded individuals when they can lead, they can collaborate, and also manage their time well. So I believe if you're a leader and you're also studying, that's a really good thing, and it's really, like, it sets you up for success later. So I would like to take you through some of the importance of balancing between the two, your studies and your leadership, and I'll also take you through some of the challenges that I personally have been facing, and also some strategies that you can use as a student. Firstly, as I said before, ni kwamba outside there, people don't just look at, oh, huyu amepata degree, amemaliza high school, so like she's intellectually okay. So they also look at interpersonal skills. How good are you with communicating with people? How are you with, you know, managing your time well? Like all these skills, these are what people look at outside there. Secondly is character building. Me personally, I wouldn't say I'm the same Zahra I was going into my first year of university. I have grown a lot as a person, like I have been resilient, I have learned many things, like it just builds your character as a person. And if your character is built, then you have so many skills in that it will help you. Hata in your academics, you're able to navigate any kind of challenges. Thirdly is improved time management. You are a student, you are juggling between your leadership, your studies, ukona ma exams, ukona ma cuts na nini. So this is something that necessitates you, it actually makes you manage your time very well. Next is stronger problem solving skills. So leadership, it doesn't come easy. It comes with so many challenges, and it's up to you whether you give up or what. But then I'll suggest is, as leaders, you're going to face lots of problems, and it's up to you. You need to think, and you just need to bring out your problem-solving skills. Nextly is competitive advantage. As I said before, ni kwamba employees outside there wanaangalia well-rounded individuals who have both intellectual and interpersonal skills. So, where right now, let's say you are a student, you just finished maybe university, you're going to seek for a job outside there. Let's say on one hand, we have a student mwenye, okay, amepata degree, but akona certificate mob za leadership, amekuwa leader in certain positions na nini. And on the other hand, we just have a student mwenye, he or she just has a degree, who will gain more competitive advantage. Sini huyu mwingine mwenye akona certificates na nini? Because this person akona skills, akona more skills than this other person mwenye amepata only the degree. Next is networking opportunities. As a leader, you're gonna meet many new people, influential people, people who can just change your lives out of nowhere. Mimi, I can say as a person, I have met so many people. I have been to events I never expected I would attend. Nextly is the challenges. I would like to take you through the challenges as a student that you can face, and as I personally have been facing. Firstly is time constraint. So just think about this. Just imagine where right now you are a high school student. Sindio? Let's say ukona this whole week you have a cut, you have a meeting because you are a leader, you have maybe an event that you have to attend, and then on one side ukona friends wako wame schedule a study group. So you think to yourself, how am I going to fit to all of this? These are some of the things that you go through as a person. Next is stress and pressure. There's that pressure whereby you feel like you want to excel in both. You want to be a leader and you also want to excel in your studies. So you feel like you're being pulled in two different directions and you feel like in one part or the other you're not doing enough. So that's one thing also. Another thing is burnout. Do you have leaders here? Prefects or whatever? We do have them here. So I'm sure there are moments whereby unasumbuliwa in your classes and you just feel like, no, maybe I'm tired. You just feel so unmotivated. The student noisemakers. We have noisemakers, they make noise, wanasumbua classes, so you just feel like, oh no, I can't do this anymore. So that's burnout, and it's a real risk when you're trying to balance between the two. Come on, you're trying to balance your studies and also your leadership roles. So some of the strategies you can actually use as a leader to balance between the two is, first thing first, you can use a planner example whereby whatever activities, whatever deadlines, you are a high school student, maybe you have exams, you have meetings, you have whatever, anything that is in your schedule, put it down in paper and make sure you treat all these things, all these appointments as very important things. Because you know, okay, prioritize one thing and you're like, no, hii inakuja after, let's say you have an exam timetable imetolewa, sawa sawa. You have maths this week and you have maybe Kiswahili the other week. See, these are both subjects that you have to study. So, ushaika, you have put down your timetable. Today I'm going to read math and Kiswahili. Then you put it in your mind, ushasoma math, and it's reaches Kiswahili. You're like, no, si Kiswahili the other week. So you start procrastinating, and utaanza kusema, oh, Kiswahili, it's the other week, so I'll read the other week. Hapo you have already spoiled managing your time na nini. Sawa sawa. Nextly is prioritization. Whatever tasks uko nazo, you want to study, you want to do what, kama uko na mambo mob unataka kufanya, just divide those tasks into, just put them this way. You put them as urgent and important, then you can put them as not important, but it's urgent. Thirdly is urgent, but then not important, and the fourth one is not urgent and not important. And you just take the first two. The first two is urgent and important, and then not urgent, but then it's also important. And an example of this is you have an exam coming up next week. Then you have, let's say I'm sure you do have debates and stuff in your schools. Do you go out for competitions? The debates and other co-curriculum activities. So let's say we're going to debates competition next month, and this week you have an exam. So we will take the exam part as urgent and very important. Then here ingine sasa the debate competition, yes, it's important, but then it's not urgent. So you prioritize more on the exams. And next is just some advices as high school students is the way in which you study. The first thing is active learning. So how do you guys read? Mukianza kusoma au munasoma your notes as novels ama vipi? Guys, I want you to focus here. Iyo bana hapo hata itaiko tu hapo mbele mutaiona. So I don't want you guys to start reading your notes as if you are reading storybooks or you are reading novels. That's not how you're going to retain the information in your nanio. And as you are reading, make sure you're taking short notes. I will say that has really helped me. I studied in Sheikh Khalifa High School, and that was one of the criteria I was using to study, and it really helps me a lot. Next is study groups. You know, kuna watu wengine, they become very selfish with whatever they are learning. Okay, you are a genius or whatever. If you know there are people when they don't know this thing, hawajui hii topic, take it to yourself. Mwambie kwamba, okay, so and so, you don't understand this topic, let me teach it to you. Wewe unaijua hiyo topic, sindio? Teach it to your friend. How is that? Manake, the more you teach someone, the more you retain the information to yourself. So unajua hivyo, mkikuwa kwa study groups, ukifunza wenzako, the more you retain that information in your head. Nextly is sleeping well. Hapa si tuko na watu wanakesha asubuhi. Do you pull out all-nighters kusoma during exams? I can see ladies hapo wanacheka. Do you do that? So yeah, in as much as you are a student and you have studies to do, you just need to manage your time well. And if you are a leader, it's all about balancing. So just in conclusion, I would like to say balancing between the two, it's not all about perfection. You don't have to be perfect in this. It's just about prioritizing tasks. And I believe all of us, we have leaders here. We all have the abilities to excel in both our studies and in our leadership roles. And I think I have come to the end of my speech, and inshallah may Allah make it easy for us. And just one advice before you go on: as you are in high school, you go into universities, don't shy away from leadership positions. So they really help you a lot. And if you want to excel in both, ukiona mimi I can't go into leadership because sitasoma ama nini, then you're wrong about that. Sawa, you can prove people wrong. So thank you so much. And I will now like to call upon, actually I would like to acknowledge the presence of Nurturing Stars organization, and I would like to call upon one of the directors, Mr. Bilal Jokia, to say something, inshallah. Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، ورسول صلى الله عليه وسلم تركنا على محجة بيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. أحييكم بتحية الإسلام الخالدة ألا وهي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. nafikiri hatuna wanaume hapa. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kwa majina naitwa Muhammad Zubair Ahmed, najulikana kama Bilal Jokia. Mimi ni mmoja wa wale directors wa Nurturing Stars. Mimi sitakuwa mzungumzaji kwa sababu katika Nurturing Stars tuko na slogan tunasema we do what? Nurturing Stars, what do we do? Hata slogan yenu hamjui. We guide dreams and shape futures. Na kule, if we are guiding dreams and shaping futures, it is good wale ambao kwamba wanaoendesha ile gurudumu waje watueleze yale ambayo kwamba kule huwa wanasoma. So you know, kawaida Nurturing Stars we go to schools. Shughuli yetu ni ku mentor vijana mostly wa high school. We have a digital literacy center na tuko na tuition center ambayo kwamba ni ya zamani lakini we revived it. Tuko na tijara na tuko na abrar pia. So sasa sitaki kuendelea sana. Ningependa watu wawili kwa kwetu waje watueleze. Number 1 itakuwa ni Arafat, number 2 itakuwa ni Madamila. So ila uko hapo nyuma uonekani, tafadhali tuomba uje hapa mbele. Sawa? Tafadhali Ilham, do it quick. Uje hapa mbele. So asanteni sana. Tunashukuru tunashukuru the University of Nairobi. Hii mambo ya kuita de wacheni. These people are elite. The is a very etanini. Wao ni the. Hii mambo ya the hawajui kitu. So ningependa nimuite ndugu yangu Arafat tafadhali. Dakika ni 10 alafu utampa Ilham so nimalize. Na nashukuru sana Msauni hapa, wamenipa hizi ring mbili, wameniambia nipeleke nyumbani as a souvenir, sio? Sawa, Arafat.
Thank you very much, the University of Nairobi, and all protocols observed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First and foremost, it's absolute honor that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been, is, and will continue to be gracious to us. And for that reason, we have to be very grateful. Mine will be very brief talking about, we've had a lot been talked about how to excel academically, and mine I'll just focus on 3 basic points. First of all, I'll just start by knowing yourself, self-awareness. There's a slogan that goes by, how you see yourself is how people are going to see you. How you see yourself is how people are going to see you, and how you perceive yourself. There is a common question that most of the people ask nowadays: who am I? You're the only one capable of answering that question. You're the only one capable of writing the story to answer that question in the way you like. Who are you? Answering the question in who are you professionally, academically, and personally. Who are you? And here are some of the points that are going to guide you in answering this question without talking, because I understand, and we all understand, that actions speak louder than words. So going on to my first point, self-perception. How you perceive yourself, how I'm perceiving myself, is how people out there are going to see me. Perceiving yourself means how you carry yourself, how you talk with others, how you treat others out there, and how do you react to things when they're trying to happen. So when I'm facing challenges, when I'm going back a situation, when I'm just facing something and I have to bounce back, I have to have that, I have to be more resilient to bounce back from that situation that is happening to me, and how I treat people around me is how people are going to perceive me. Take an example on a person facing challenges, and all of the time facing that challenges, he just sit down or she just sit down, cries a lot, give it out or write down on paper, and how this is how he or she goes beyond that challenge. This is how people are going to perceive you. They will know that Aisha, they will know that Ali or Muhammad, whenever he faces a challenges, this is how he's going to overcome that challenge, and how is that people are going to perceive you. The second thing is consistency in behavioral mechanism. How you behave as a person, personally, professionally, academically. You are a student right here. How you are going to carry yourself in behavioral mechanism, in behavior. For example, you are in a school, you are in a school setup. How are you going to behave? For example, you are seated with your students, with your fellow students, and you have that dependency of lying every now and then. People will just assume, people will just carry it from you that to Flani, this person so and so is a liar. Another instance of a student who like reading, a bookworm. Every now and then he's reading. Break time he's reading, at home he's reading, even at school he's trying to go an extra mile to study or to do something very constructive to save time, because he or she understands that time management is key for academic excellence. These people out here are going to perceive this person as a hard worker or a smart worker. I think you're getting me. The third point is self-awareness. Self-awareness comes as a collective role, personally, academically, and professionally, again, on how you are self-aware. Self-aware of your strength, self-aware of your weaknesses. You know your strength, you know your weakness. And at some point, these strengths are going to be perceived by other people as your weaknesses, and these weaknesses as well are also going to be perceived by other people as your strength. Take an example. If I am a student and I have my fellow students around me, when a person lies to me, when a person tells me something about, I know this is not the truth that they're trying to tell me, I perceive that lie as a flaw from them. But a liar to a liar, we have two liars. When he lies and the other person lies, they are comfortable with those lies or those things that are telling. So the lie from this person, from person A, the lie from person B, they are very much comfortable with that. So they'll just view it not as a flaw, but as a strength. And again, we also have strength that most people think that there are flaws from your side. As a sister right here came and talked about, whenever she had that dependency of praying Salatul Duha or being so righteous at school, following the norms of Islam, people will see him as a very boring human being. Why is this so? Because the circle of friends or the circle of people that are around her are the wrong people who are the way she has to adapt to with. So viewing her as a very righteous person, as viewing her as a person who follows non-Islamic norms, will view her as a boring person, something of that sort. So hii inamaanisha this person, the strength ambao wako nayo, being too religious, most of the people around ambao wana view it as a flaw, they are not the right circle to be around this type of girl. Then the next one we have communication and body language. So answering the question, who am I? Most of the people will not ask you, because there is one influencer on Instagram who will say that it is not necessarily that sometimes people are going to show you or tell you who they are. Sometimes it is just a matter of you allowing them to show you and tell you who they are. In no sense am I saying this. Stop finishing their sentences. Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Stop making up excuses for them when they're trying to behave in an entirely different way. Do not project your narrative onto them. Allow them to show you and tell you who they are. Because most of the times these people are. It is that you are refusing to see it. Why? Because your insecurities are screaming so loud that you're forcing something else to be a reality when the reality is really clear. So sometimes it is not about them showing you or telling you who they are. It is about you being quiet long enough to allow them to show you and tell you who they are. So in answering this question, who am I? How you communicate with people, your body language, how you perceive your communication with other people, talks more about yourself than how am I going to tell people I am this and this and this. So in communicating, we have body language, we have talking. How you talk with people, the type of language you are using, the type of approach that you are using. Are you approachable to talks? Are you approachable to advices? Are you a person who a person can comfortably face and talk one-on-one about matters, professional matters, academic matters, or personal matters per se? Or are you this person who, by just looking at your behavior, by just looking at how you communicate with others, I have a clue of who you are. So communication and body language talks it a lot. Sometimes without communicating through words, your actions. I may just see you wandering around this meeting, maybe. We are all seated, but you're just wandering around, going up and down. I'll just come to a conclusion that you're insecure about yourself. While all people are just seated, they are keen, they want to listen to what the panelists are trying to talk about, the panelists are trying to advise, and you're just wandering up and down. Why? Because you have an insecurity, maybe you cannot focus. Maybe your focusing span is very short, or maybe you are not interested in whatever things that are talked about. Moving on to my last point in how people see you, we have continuous learning. Most people, what attracts people around the world is how knowledgeable you are. The circles of friends, the family, the connections you build, most of them, I am not a student, maybe sometimes I'm out of school. I'm a student when I'm back in school, but outside the world, who am I? When I'm walking out.
After being a joker is what will define you. So after finishing my high school, and due to financial issues and everything, so my parents told me, you can't go to the university. I stayed at home for 10 months, from January to October, doing nothing at home, waiting for a husband maybe to come and marry me. But yeah, that didn't happen. So in October, as I was browsing on social media, Instagram, I met an organization called Polytechno Girls, and I saw that they were offering computer skills for free. So I said, kuliko nikae nyumbani, let me go out there and put myself out there, because Allah says, paka wewe mwenyewe ujisaidie ndio yatakusaidia, si ndio? Allah will help you when you put in efforts, right? So I went to Polytechno Girls, did a 3 course on code hack. And then when I finished, I did very well. They offered me an internship, 3 months na ajira. After finishing that, and the reason why I'm telling you all this is because kuna some of us, we won't be able to go to the university or maybe even finish high school. But that will not be the end of you, sindio? You can do something in your life, bado. So I went to Polytechno Girls, I did a code hack for 3 months, nikamaliza, nikafanya internship, and the internship I was paid 20,000. 20,000 first month, 20,000 second month, 20,000 third month. So I got into LinkedIn. When I got into LinkedIn, I first posted my portfolio that I have done code hack. And in the portfolio, I got more than 10 jobs. People offering me jobs for me to make them portfolios and pay me. I just finished high school, stayed at home doing nothing, and the moment I decided, today is the day I will go to Polytechno Girls, do the code hack, I started getting jobs and opportunity. What does that mean? You just have to make up your mind that you can do it. You can go out there and get those opportunities. Senior, I know most of us here, wengine we are from humble backgrounds, maybe we don't have, tunajua tukimaliza high school, that is the end of us. Our parents maybe can't take us to the university, but that is so wrong. Mimi, I used to think that way. Mwanzo personally kitambo ukiniambia ati Ilham, you'll go in a forum of students and talk, I will never do that. Kwa sababu mimi nitasema hata sijafika university, what will I tell them? I myself am not successful. I've not even stepped in any university. Nitawaambia nini? But right now, I can talk very well and inspire other people. So after doing internship at 3 months, I joined Nurturing Stars organization because I knew kama mimi, I'm from a family where I cannot afford education. Obviously, kuna watu wengine huko nje which they can't afford to, si ndio? Hawaizi kulipa. So I went to Nurturing Stars organization and I decided to volunteer for free. So I started training digital literacy students for free. We started with 24 students. We got donors. I first got 6 laptops for free. Someone donated for us 6 laptops to train. Right now, as I'm speaking, I have 35 laptops, sorry, not 21. 6 plus 21, that's 35, yeah? Or how many? I don't know, but I have 35 laptops. Yeah, I have 35 laptops. And up to that, I've trained more than 300 students. Not in Nurturing Stars peke yake. I went to Wajir to train high school teachers. I went to Wajir to train high school teachers like Kipia, Lamu. And after I came back, I went back to Sheikh Khalifa. Where? Sheikh Khalifa, where it all started. And I trained the students on public speaking. Am I successful or not? Did I go to the university? Now, the best part is, this year, I got a scholarship to go to Indonesia and study for 4 years, free of charge. Kama Ilham can do it, can you all do it? If Ilham can do it, can you all do it? So I've been told to talk for 5 minutes. I have a lot to tell you. I have a lot of inspirations to tell you. I have a lot to tell you because my journey is so long. And you know where to get me? I'm in Nurturing Stars organization. My Instagram, Facebook is just Ilham Firoz. Whenever you need an advice, whenever you need me, I'll always be there for you. And yeah, we do computer classes in Nurturing Stars organization. We charge 2,000, but kama you want to learn, you want to get skills and level up yourself, the 2,000 kama hauna, njoo Nurturing Stars. Sawa? I thank you very much. My name is Ilham Firoz.
Thank you. Let's give her another clap. Actually, I know Ilham since high school. We went to the same high school, and I'm so proud of her. And Brother Arafat here, Mr. Bilal, the directors of Nurturing Stars, I'm really happy for the efforts that you're putting in the society. I've actually been following you guys on Instagram for so long, and I can see your work, and inshallah, may more students get mentored, inspired, and inshallah, just be great people. Next, I would like to call upon the chairman of Msaun Executive Council to present the certificate to Mr. Bilal, and maybe we can have Arafat too on stage, and Ilham, just stay back on stage. Bilal? Because the banners ziko hiyo side. It has just 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
Just
I
5.
have to be somewhere.
So give because Advocate Nabi was supposed to go at 10.
10.
Oh, okay, okay.
Then you
Okay, you can go on with our program. I would now like to call on stage Advocate Nabiha, and she'll be speaking on the topic of career guidance, inshallah.
Before the Advocate Nabiha takes over, Advocate Nabiha is the chair lady of the Muslima Legal Network, which is a network of Muslima lawyers only. So lawyers who are Muslim women. So very possible for everyone here, from humble backgrounds, for all Muslim girls, to get where she is. Karibu sana.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. As I was introduced, my name is Nabiha. I'm an advocate in Kenya, and I'm an advocate in Tanzania as well. I'm also the chairlady of Muslima Legal Network, as she told you. And I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to see such a crowd willing to experience how to go about their next step in life. I'm here to talk about a role that plays a very huge impact when shaping your life, which is choosing the right career. This is going to be one of your most important decisions, and a lot of people make these decisions without having thought or guidance. So before I go and speak about what I want to speak about, maybe one or two of you can tell me their aspirations. Who do you want to be when you finish your Form 4s? Any Form 4s here that have decided what they want to be? Form 4s? Raise your hand, one of you, don't be shy. Maybe some of the careers that you're thinking of. Quickly. Yes, shout it out. Tell me, shout it out. Doctor, medicine, Who else? Engineer, okay, what kind of engineer? Anything else? One person, scream it out. Interior designing, that's a nice one. What else? Businesswoman, I like that. But what kind of business? There are so many businesses that you can do. Okay, sawa sawa, let's move on. So, as you can see, most of the career choices that are being shouted out are professional careers that people are thinking about. I want to be a teacher. Nobody said I want to be a teacher. Everyone wants to be a doctor. Everyone wants to be an engineer. But is it something that you thought of yourself, or is it something because you're seeing people in courts in making good money? Or what is it that attracted you to being a doctor? Whoever said wants to be a doctor, what do you want? Why do you want to be a doctor? Shout it out. Good money, eh? You see? So, I'm going to start with why choosing your career is important. Your career is something that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. This is something, it's not just to earn a living. It's not just I'm going to work, I'm going to get money, and I'm going to go home. No, it is something that most of you, because some of you 8 to 5, you're at work. You're at home for another 3 hours, you eat, you go to bed. How many hours have you been to work? The whole day. So this is something that is a very integral part of your life. So it is important to choose the right career for you to be able to have your happiness, your mental balance and physical health, your financial future, of course, and even your identity. It becomes part of you. If you're a doctor, everyone, daktari, daktari, wakili, wakili, businesswoman, mdosi. And you don't need to have such a big career if your passion. I have a very good friend of mine. She was an A student in high school. She was even better than us, very, 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 very far away better than us. She was an A student and everyone expected her to be a doctor. But do you know what she went to do? Business administration. Business administration. When we were in university, we used to call it BA, being around, because it was so easy for them to study. It was so easy for them to finish their studies. And it was just 3 years. She refused to do medicine, not because she could not do it, but because she did not want to. And she's doing well. She's working in a bank. So for you to do well, you don't have to have a professional job. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying if it is your passion, if it is something that you love, if it is something that you want to do because you want to do it and not because people are doing it, then good. It deserves attention and reflection and planning. So before you decide to do something like that, remember at the background, this thing that I'm trying to do, it's going to shape my life. So the common mistakes that people do, you choose a choice, like I said, based on peer pressure, what people are doing, or your mom wants you to be a doctor, your mom wants you to be a lawyer. In my class, when we were in university, there were 3 students that dropped out. One, because at some point they did not have the financial capability. The second one is because she said she only did it because her mother is a lawyer and she wanted her to be a lawyer as well. So at some point she was just not able to do. You see, for example, things like lawyers and doctors, those are somehow callings. You have to love that to be able for you to do it. You just can't say I'm doing it because my mom wants me to do it or because I'm seeing other people doing it. You have to want it because it involves a lot of work when you're in university. It involves a lot of dedication, and even after you start working, the work does not stop. It just doesn't mean you wake up in the morning, you wear your suit or you wear your coat and you go to work. No, it's still, you will still be updating yourself with the technologies that are coming in. You will be updating yourself with the new laws. You will be updating yourself with the new diseases, everything. Who knew there was corona? Madaktari wa zamani, they were even surprised, what is this now? So it is something that you will keep learning. So it is something that when you're choosing to go into that career, you should be able to say, yes, it is something I love and I want, because it is going to be something that you'll be working on every day. So another thing is wanting a career just because you think you'll make money. Oh, mawakili wana pesa nyingi sana, wana wanapeleka BMW zao. That shouldn't be your goal. That shouldn't be your goal. Not doing enough research. So before you pick a career choice, you have to go and do your homework. Do your research. That's the same way you're studying in class. Do your research on that particular field that you want to be. For example, at my time when I wanted to do medicine, in my family, when I wanted to do law, in my family there was no lawyer. In fact, now maybe, but when I wanted to do it, there was no lawyer, leave alone a female lawyer. There was no lawyer. So when I went up to my dad and I said, you know, I want to do law, my dad looked at me like, Madam, what's going on? Why don't you just do medicine? I said, no, I hate blood, I hate looking at wounds, I cannot do it. I want to do law, and since as a kid I was always good at public speaking, I was always good on research, I did my homework, and he told me, no, haram, haiwezi. Tena mtoto wa kike, you want to go and stand in court. Why? You see, so I went back, I did my research, and I had a PowerPoint presentation. Mind you, I was just a teenager, just like yourselves. Because it is something that I had decided I want to do, I went and did a PowerPoint presentation for my parents, why they should let me to do law. Because for them, it is a new concept. So even if you decide to do something and it is a new concept for whoever is going to be guiding you, you go with that and teach them on what it is that you want to do and why it is possible and why it is beneficial. Because as a Muslim, if we all say Muslims do not do law, then who is going to help our own Muslims with their issues? You see? So you have to be able to do your research. You have to be able to have the skills. Have a piece of paper from when you're in Form 3, Form 2, have a piece of paper and do and don'ts. I am very good at this, I am very good at that, I'm very good at this, I'm very good at that. But let me tell you, right now you may think you're not good at ABC, but later on you realize that you're actually very good. Therefore, even if you're not good at public speaking and you say, mawakili wanaenda kotini, watasimama kuzungumza, I cannot do it. But if you think about it, there are lawyers in companies that you do not see. They don't meet anyone. They look at those documents and then they're brought to us. And we are the ones who are out there. So even if you're somebody who says that I'm not going to good at public speaking, there are other sections of the same career path that can, but only if you do your research is when you'll be able to learn about these things. A career involves 3 things, as I said. One, it is interest and passion. You have to love what you want to do. And there is nowhere that is written in set stone that you cannot change your mind. At any point you feel like, I'm not able to do this, even with that career that you've been studying or you've studied, it doesn't mean that you have to be there. I know so many people who have different and they're in different fields. Also, maybe sometimes you realize later that you're better at something else than what you studied. if you get an opportunity, why not? So it is something that you need to be passionate about, because you spend, again, a large part of your time at work. You have to have your skills and strengths, as I said. Make sure you know what you're good at. Make sure you know what you're not good at. Make sure you know in the things that you're not good at, can I perfect it? You know, there are some talents that you cannot perfect. Unayo huna. But there are things that you can perfect. Public speaking, for one, we have a good example here. It's something that you can learn and grow with it. Look for places that you can learn to perfect it. If it is something that you really want to do, and you say, I really want to do law, but I'm not good at speaking in public, join the debate team. Go speak in front of your parents and families. Pole pole, look for a crowd and you speak to, and you grow into it and you learn. There are things that you can learn. Don't say, I can't, I can't. I can't is something you should not ever say. Say, I have to try. Once you try and realize you cannot, then accept your weakness, but use it to your advantage. And then you need to look into the market and opportunities. Right now there's scarcity of jobs. Therefore, before you go into a career and say, I want to do ABC, then you have to decide if I'm going to be able to get a job in this field. I know when we were studying, there were people who were studying biochemistry. In Kenya, what are we going to do? We might have labs, but biochemistry, you know, it's not going to be easy for you to get a job in that field. There's somebody who was studying forensics and investigation in the UK and then came back to Kenya. Forensic and investigation in the UK, those people have ridiculous machinery and advanced information technology and all this. Then you come back to Kenya and you go to the police station and people still don't know how to even lift a print. And you know, there are things that are not here available, but if you study abroad and you come, you make that market. There are things that are possible for you to create that market. But then there are things that you would need a lot of money that won't make sense. So even when you're choosing a career, make sure you've looked into the market and the opportunities that are available in the country that you've decided that you're going to settle in. Therefore, a career choice balances your passion, your skill, and the opportunities that are out there. So, steps that you need to take when you're choosing a career. Self-assessment, like I said, start early, know your strength, know your weaknesses, know the weaknesses that you are willing to work on so that you can shape to the career that you want. And make sure you take personality quizzes, make sure you ask your friends, Evie, when I speak, am I eloquent? When I speak, do I look like this? And get feedback from your friends and make sure you steer yourself into that path. Do your research, do your education and training. Nothing stops you on holiday. Instead of bumming and eating viazi karai saa kumi, go look for someone, your uncle who has an office. Uncle, can I be coming 2 hours a day? Because I'm really looking into being a doctor. I just want to shadow you for a few days, just to see what I won't speak. Go with your pen and paper, shadow this person. Oh, I want to be an influencer. Haya, shadow, see what they're making in that influencing job. I want to be a banker. Obviously in the bank they won't allow you, but if you apply proper channels, they do let students shadow these people. Then there are organizations like our Muslims organizations that are so many that can allow you to shadow some of their people. Go to these organizations, request. You have to be proactive. You can't just bum and say, I want to be a doctor, but you're sleeping. It doesn't work like that. You have to work from the onset and say, this is what I want to do and I'm going to do it. And then you'll figure out your weaknesses and work on your weaknesses. Make realistic goals. Do not make some ridiculous goals. I hear some students talking about things and I'm looking at them, Yamani, these Gen Zs, where do you get this information from? We had another mental health on another school, and one of the kids, when we were talking to them about what they want to be when they grow up, one of the kids told me, I want to be a CEO. I was like, okay, you want to be a CEO. Do you know how a CEO becomes a CEO? A CEO is anybody. You can be a doctor in a hospital and you're the CEO of that hospital. You can be in business and you are a CEO of your own business. You can be anything. A CEO doesn't mean that you just, he's saying, no, tell me where I can go study and be a CEO. Oh my God. So you have to make realistic goals that make sense, okay? And then we have to educate our parents. Like I said, even when I wanted to be at that time, people were thinking, hi-fi, haram, haram, haram. But now if you look at the number of Muslims that are there, we are actually together and we have an organization and we are out there trying to make changes where we can. And that means you need to make sure that the role of parents and teachers and mentors are very important in shaping your life. So if you cannot talk to your parents, approach the teacher, the career guidance teacher that can help you when you're stuck. You know, don't be afraid to ask for help. Even as an adult, we are still looking for help. You cannot do anything yourself, everything yourself, no way. You have to have a good support system. So if you're close to your mother, you say, you know, I'm thinking about doing this, and start early. You know, I'm thinking about doing things, what do you think? Or you go to your teacher, you know, these are my weaknesses, these are my pros, these are my cons, and I'm thinking of doing it, do you think it makes sense? Okay? So, the world is changing. Right now, and wakati wa zamani is different. Right now, we have so many things going. Our job markets are vast. One career choice can have so many branches. We have so much technology taking over. We have AI, we have globalization, we have companies that are situated in UK, US, South Africa that has trickled to Kenya. So you might be working in a company that is an international company that you have to make sure you have knowledge on the global market and all that. So whenever you are thinking of a career, you have to think that this time we are a global market. We are no longer somewhere that you're just going to sit there. Even those professional jobs that you're talking about in terms of medicine, there are diseases that are international that have now crossed border, because right now it's very easy for people to go around and about. So you have to make sure when you're thinking of whatever it is that you want to do, you have to make sure that it is something that is, you will always be learning. So lifelong learning. When you're choosing your career, you have to make sure you are ready to learn and upgrade yourself. So choosing a career is not a one-time decision, it's a journey. What matters is choosing wisely, make sure you're self-aware, be ready to learn and grow, and be very easy. I want to say, believe in yourself, ask questions, seek help, make decisions with not only your heart, but your mind. And not only your mind, but with your heart as well. So when you're making a decision, make sure it's together. Not your mind, I want money, but your heart, you cannot even open a wound. Now you want to be a doctor. Or you're not very good at doing research, but because you think they make money, I want to do that. No. Sit down, be self-aware, and choose the right thing. Let's say it together. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. It's not. Again, I believe in myself. I can do this. Louder. So make sure you believe in yourself, be self-aware, and be ready to grow. Thank you, and I wish you all the very best in your journey. Inshallah, may Allah bless you all and make sure that you prosper in your...
Thank you so much. I think Madam Wakili, she has exhausted all about career guidance, and I believe you have gained something, right? Okay, I think right now we are going to take a short break, like a 5 to 10 minutes break, and then we're gonna continue from there, inshallah. Firstly, sorry, I forgot. I would like to call upon on stage Naifin to present the award to Advocate Nabiha, inshallah.
I guess you have to hold the... Thank you. Thank you so much. This is very pretty. Thank you. Zahra designed it.
Kila siku, paka inafika siku, you don't even want to wake up in the morning. It's like, hey, mimi nimechoka na hii. Is it even worth it? Yeah? So I think it's very important when we face these type of things, we realize in ourselves that we don't need to be very hard. We don't need to be very harsh. We set some times for ourselves to do nothing, for ourselves to have fun with our friends. Maybe go spend some time with our family, with people we care about, with our friends, to avoid this burnout. Because in the reality is, we are human beings. End of the day, that's the reality. You're as human as I am human. No one is built like a machine where they can work day in, day out and not get tired. We do get tired. And we have to recognize that in ourselves, that we do get tired, we do burn out, we do get less motivated than we initially were. So we need to set some time for ourselves. Squeeze wanaita, I think the Gen Zs, they call it self-care. Yeah? So you spend, for the ladies, they can spend a day going to the spa to get a massage and a pedicure. For sisi majamaa, wajua si hatuna mambo mengi. Tunaangalia boli, tunaenda kucheza mpira, mambo gani mengine we can do to relax? Gym, anasema gym, PS, anasema chairman. Yes, so we do all those things to recover. We recover, spend some time for ourselves, and then when the day is over, we get back to where we are. Because that is what is important. As I said, you always need to have an end goal in mind. Yeah? These things in the middle matter, but what matters most is the end goal. We need to finish what we started. Yeah? So my encouragement is, you don't need to be very perfect. You don't need to be God-like. You're always motivated. No, that is not the truth. I myself get demotivated at times. I myself feel like, oh, no, I just want to sleep the whole day. But what is important is to overcome here. Even if it's to take some time for myself, I do take that time with the thought in mind that I'm going to come back the next day and finish what I started. Yeah? So I think that was all for me. Asanteni sana for giving me this opportunity. For the Form 4s who are now not very sure, and even for Form 3s who are not very sure about what they want to do in their future. Maybe this is me being biased, but we have a very excellent institution hapa, the University of Nairobi Mombasa campus. Yeah? We teach, we have 3 faculties here. We have the Faculty of Law, the Faculty of Business Management Science, and the Faculty of Arts. So for any of you students who are in Mombasa, who maybe are not interested in traveling very far, but still want to gain a degree, still in 4 years' time, you want to be a lawyer, I'm here to tell you that it's very, very possible. I think we'll discuss requirements as we go along. We'll have a small session, I think, at some point to give you the specific requirements for each faculty. For example, for law, what are you required to have in your, as your grades before you come to us? So muko karibu sana, we are welcomed. We have a vibrant student community here. We have vibrant activities. Basi ile pale nyuma, if you guys can, kama umeiona mukiingia, we go out to do legal aids as the law students. We go out to do career days for many other schools. So it's a very vibrant student community hapa. Na mimi kama uongozi wa students, naweza nikasema, karibuni sana. When you guys finish your exams, all the best in that. Mukujeni, musome na sisi, and I hope to see you guys very, very soon in these corridors of knowledge. Yes, asanteni sana, thank you. And I think I'll pass it back to Zahra. Thanks.
Thank you for the insightful session. Before I proceed to calling Professor Sarah Kinyanjui on stage, allow me to call Swaleh Rama, the head of social affairs, Msaun Executive Council, to present the certificate to Mohammed Jelani. Thank you. Now allow me to call on stage Professor Sarah Kinyanjui to delve into the topic of navigating the future, building a pathway to academic and career success.
Yeah, thank you very much, moderator, for the good job that you've been doing. I've been watching as I was driving, I watched it live, and I'm really, really glad that you have this forum. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Mnanisikiza huko nyuma? Excellent. I am really glad to be here this morning. And the reason that I'm glad to be here is because I'm looking at current leaders, because by the fact that you're here means you're already standing out as a leader, sivyo? Sivyo? Ama ndio tunazungumzia wale ambao hawana mwelekeo? No, we are speaking to leaders who are already leaders by their own right. But secondly, because I'm looking at the future leaders, I'm looking at the governor of Mombasa perhaps, I'm looking at a cabinet secretary, I'm looking at somebody who's probably working for the United Nations, or you don't think it's possible? It is possible. So I'm so delighted that I have this opportunity. Not many people have the opportunity to speak to leaders. So I'm glad that I'm here this morning. The second reason why I'm so glad to be here is that this is a student-led event. University of Nairobi students, Msaun, have organized this. It is not a management program, it is students. Isn't that impressive? People badala ya kuwa nyumbani on gadgets, they decide we are going to impact our brothers and sisters. That is impressive. And for you being here instead of being somewhere else, it also is impressive. So thank you for coming. But I'd like to start with a little exercise. I know you've been listening the whole morning, and I'd like us to do something. It's an exercise that I do with all the students that I meet. And for those of you who've already seen it before, I seek your indulgence. Munisamehe, I'll do it yet again. You have a piece of paper. Does everybody have paper? No? Everybody should have paper. I think there were some papers being given out. There are people without papers. I'd like them to have paper. How many of you don't have papers? Kama una karatasi, raise your hand ndio uletewe. Or quite a number at the back. As we get the paper going round, I want you to talk to the person next to you and ask them, why are you here this morning? Okay, raise your hands if you don't have paper. There's somebody with a notebook. I think he can share more paper. Pale nyuma, raise up your hand if you don't have paper. Okay, as they get the paper, let's sample out some answers. Why are you here? We can hear from a couple of you. Let's hear some answers. Why are you here this morning as we... Please allow her to speak. Let's allow her to speak. Just a minute, let's get silence and then you can speak. Yes, please, proceed.
My name is Dauma Raja from Peter Secondary School, grade 9 girls. The reason why I'm here this morning is because I want to get knowledge from others.
Great, so knowledge. One more and then we can wrap it up. One more, there's a hand right at the middle. Okay. Let's allow her, please, let's allow her to speak. Let's allow her to speak. Yes, please. Please go ahead.
My name is Regina Ali, and I'm from
To learn? Just again, to learn?
To learn from the more experienced.
Okay. Excellent, to learn from the more experienced people, and we can go on and on. But the reason I'm asking you to say why you're here, I don't know whether you realize how significant this morning is, because somebody seated here will change the course of their lives. And then somebody else seated here will just think this is an exciting social gathering and get nothing out of it. So my hope is that most of you, if not all of you, will get something out of this discussion. So let's get our paper. Raise up your paper. Okay, I'd like you to fold your paper into two. Just fold. So if you have that, fold it. Fold it into two. You've all folded your papers? Okay. Then I'd like you to cut from the corner. I'll explain. Look at what I'm doing and you can follow suit. From a corner, you cut. From the other corner, cut another piece of paper. So cut from all the corners. Have you cut from all the corners? You cut from all the corners? Have you cut? Okay, I'd like you to fold it again. Now the second time. So you have the folded, you fold one more time. Have you folded one more time? So if it was already folded once, you fold again, then cut the corners again. And I'd like you to keep folding and cutting the corners until you can do it no more. Fold, cut, until you can do it no more. I can see somebody trying to use all their force to cut from thick papers. So do it until you can do it no more. Are you all done? Okay, we'll give those who haven't a millisecond to finish. Yeah, until you can do no more. Okay, so now I'd like you to open up your paper and raise it up high. Let's see what you have. Okay, raise your papers up. Let's see what you have. Raise, yeah, all of you raise and look around you and see what people have. Right. Let's now discuss what this means. Thank you very much for following instructions. I can see you're good listeners. Let's talk about this. Are your papers the same? I'd like two people to tell us why are the papers different. Just two people raise up your hands and tell us why do you think they are different. Two people, I can see some girls at the back there. Tell us, why do you think they are different? Okay, let's listen to her. Sorry. Us to talk about this morning, and I'll be very brief. I will take about 10 minutes for us to just have 3 lessons. And the first lesson, you've already had it. Did you expect similar results? We all did the same thing, right? We all cut corners, we folded, didn't we? But the results are different. And the reason, as you have said, is number one, we have different perspectives, but I'd like to focus on something else, that each of you is uniquely created for a purpose in life. So the first lesson I'd like you to take home this evening is that you have to have a purpose-led. A purpose, say that again, a purpose-led. A purpose-led life. What does that mean? That you're not here just kiholela. You are not just created to fill the earth, but you were created to fulfill a particular purpose. I want you to think about the runners who make us very proud in Kenya. Can somebody name one of the runners that you really are proud of? Kipchoge, oh yeah, we are unlimited, right? But think about Kipchoge. What makes him so special is that he pursued his purpose and runs with it. He did not decide to be something else. He decided to become what he was gifted in. The second lesson that I'd like us to think about is specifically that now that we have been created specifically for a specific reason, what then are we supposed to do? And I would like us to think about a brick mentality. Brick mentality. Can you say that out loud? And I want you to look at this building where you're seated. Just look either at the Jubilee side or the University of Nairobi side. So to have this building, we have a brick every day, right? So there are bricks that are laid. Kuna mawe, si ndio? You build using bricks. And can you imagine if they did not lay a strong foundation, what would happen to the buildings? They would come, they would collapse. And of course we saw a building collapsing the other day, right? So what I want to remind you this morning, or what I would like you to think about, the first thing that you do, remember we talked about a purpose, led. So if you would like to be a lawyer or a doctor or a musician, whatever you want to be, you start building every day. Every day you wake up, you're laying a brick. So today you have laid a brick where you have come to get knowledge. You said you're here to get knowledge. It must be purpose-led. So I'd like you at the end of this exercise this evening, write down what do you expect to be. Write down what you expect to be. And number 2, we talk about being brick-minded. I'd like you to go and write what steps, what practical steps are you going to make towards being or reaching your purpose. And the last thing I'd like to say is that there are people who are excellent and people who are not excellent. It's your choice. It's your choice whether you will be a person of excellence. It's your choice whether you will build your house. It's your choice whether you will not be of any impact to your community. And I leave you by saying, why would you choose to be the person who's not excellent? With all those God-given greatness in you, why would you choose to be anything less? I thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor. Allow me to call upon on stage Naifin Najim to present the certificate to Professor Sarah.
Before I give the certificate to Prof, I'd just like to give a brief background. You know, Prof doesn't like to talk about herself, but for students, you know what it takes to get to be at the professor level. So you graduate high school, you go to university, you get a degree, you do a master's, you graduate with a master's, you do a PhD, you graduate with a PhD, then you teach PhD students, and the PhD students have to graduate, and then you become a professor. And she's the professor of law of the University of Nairobi. And as I give this award to Prof, I want to just say to students that it takes only one person to mentor another who ends up mentoring others. When I came here, I worked directly under Prof, and it's through working under her that I've become this confident, purposeful person that she mentions in her speech. So thank you so much, Prof, for honoring our invite, as always, and coming through for us. I have the certificate. Jelani, we can both give.
Next on our program, we have Yusra Mohammed, a representative from Girls I Serve.
Hi, assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you guys feeling today? I'm very excited to stand in front of you and present. So before I tell you what I'm going to be doing, so today is a very good day, but unfortunately it wasn't for me. It was not a good day for me. Siku yangu imeanza vibaya. Sawa. So I was supposed to talk about a particular topic, but then again, another speaker has already spoken on the same. So, this is going to be a summary. Sawa. So, napenda ku... Maniana? I'm too short. Okay, so kwa majina naitwa Yusra Mohammed. I am a medical engineering student at the Technical University of Mombasa. I would call myself a multi-passionate individual because I enjoy doing a lot of things. I love writing, I love public speaking, and Yomana, I'm scared, but can you tell? Can you? Yes. Okay, so I'm also in Girls I Serve Africa. How many of you have heard of Girls I Serve Africa? How many of you have heard of Girls I Serve Africa? You, okay, me too. Okay, so Girls I Serve Africa is a social enterprise that encourages and supports young people into STEM and innovation. So today I'm here to talk about STEM. How many of you know what STEM is? STEM ni nini? STEM, yes, nimekuwa corrected, STEM. Okay, so many okay, how many of you here know what STEM is? Amujui? Amka shout. Just do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, let me do it. Wacha niwaambie tu. So STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Sawa. So I'm going to tell you the careers that are in this, the 5 things I've told you. So we have science. In science, we have careers like medical doctor, pharmacist, we have researchers, we have so many. Wangapi wanataka kuwa daktari hapa? Any doctors in the room? Okay. Yeah. So we have technology. In technology, we have careers like data science. No. Yeah, I'm correct. So we have cybersecurity, we have computer science, vitu kama hivyo. And then we have engineering, and I am part of engineering. I said earlier, I am a medical engineering student. Do you guys know what that is? A medical engineering student. Do you know what that is? You know? Waweza kuniambia? You know but you don't. Okay, let me tell you. So, how many of you want to be engineers here? Okay, so let me tell you what engineering is. Engineering is basically the application of science, technology, and math to solve real-world problems. Sawa? So basically, we're just solving problems. And in engineering, there's several types of engineering. We have electrical, mechanical, marine, agricultural, environmental. We have so many. Hata moja zingine sisijui. Sawa? And then we have math. And in math, we have careers like a math teacher. Engineering, we have a bit of math. Sawa? Hi.
Mila Hassan, and if somebody wants to change after every semester because he's confused of what to do after every semester, like until he
question because it's very honest. For many of us, by the time we graduate, we are not sure what we want to do. And in terms of the course, many of us...
You cannot keep moving because time is also moving, and that's why career guidance is really important. So you start thinking about what are you good at. I think it's you. Then they go join a program because everybody says be a doctor, be a lawyer. Then you go and realize I'm not even interested. So begin thinking about what you're good at, what your interests are, and then begin talking to people in that profession so that they tell you or they manage your expectations on what the program is. But allow me, now that I'm on mic, just to say one thing about, I remember when Jailani said, when you're sponsoring yourself, it's a C+. Then he said government sponsored B+. Alafu nikasikia mmeanza doubting yourself. Remember we talked about royalty thinking. If you already have a mindset that it's impossible, then that means then you're probably not going to get. So you have to start. Do we have from 1s here? Or just from 3s and 4s? But you still, wherever you are at, it's time to start laying your bricks every day, doing the most that you can.
Maybe any other questions? Okay. We have 2 questions. We'll take questions and maybe if we have any one from the real side before we go into the next session. Very, very good question. I have my colleague in a field. I think she's better placed to answer that question. Warali, currently Clubwell is a company.
Naifin is better placed to answer this question on if you are facing restrictions at home.
And I know my parents had no objection personally, so if your parents don't have objections, you don't really face much. But my community, my aunties would say it's haram. Until today, my aunties wananiambia, you're doing a haram course, and but I want you to think of it like this. When you're caught when you have a mistake in school, like something happened and you're taken to the principal's office, and the principal if you're thinking of criminal law, let's say, and let's say you're at the principal's office, you've done a mistake, and the principal doesn't want to hear you, you don't have a chance to explain yourself, you don't even have someone, maybe kukutetea to argue on your behalf. Is that fair? Do you think that's fair? Is that halal? Is that right in Islam? Is that justice? So the idea of studying law is not that you'll go out there and say, I want to defend criminals. Every course has a way you can fall into haram. You become a doctor today, and you lie to people, and you kill people, and you take from them. Doesn't that become haram? You become a teacher today, and you're there punishing students, discouraging them. Isn't that haram? So I want us to help educate our community. Don't be rude, don't be negative about it. Try and explain it to them in a way that they can understand. That there are so many things you can do with a law degree. You don't have to even do litigation. You don't even have to go to court. I understand the aspect of the haram halal part coming from maybe appearing in court. You can do mediation. Mohammed and I are very into alternative dispute resolution, which is a faculty, a path under law where you're solving conflicts without appearing in court. You can be a professor like Professor Sarah here. So the path is very huge, and it's on us to explain to our parents. But whoever you are, maybe you can see me after, take my number, and I would love to talk to your mom or your dad and talk to them.
Thank you very much, Naifin, for that excellent response. I think we had one more question before we jump into our speech by our CECM Education. So one more question, last question, kisha we going to the next stage of this program.
Assalamu alaikum once again. I study law, criminology, and I was taken to Nairobi by my parents. Out of some personal issues, I went to Nairobi, the University of Nairobi, the one that's in Nairobi. And then like due to some issues at home, I was told to come back to Mombasa, like transfer me here.
Very good question, and simply the answer to that is yes. So if you're in our campus in Parklands, if you wish to transfer back to Mombasa, that is absolutely possible. So you can do that, and you can also do that for any of the other faculties that I mentioned. So not only restricted to law. Our just emeritus associate dean, Professor Sarah Kinyanjui, to invite our guest CECM Education, Dr. Mborali.
Thank you very much, Jailani, and students and teachers. Once again, we are privileged to have the Waziri for Education, and it's symbolic that he has come. And we thank you for continuing to support the students. Of course, as we said, this is not an institutional forum. It's done and organized by students, and so for him honoring them, it's a real great.
Can I stand here? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين ما بعد. Hamjambo yote. A well-known waziri at the level of Mombasa County by the name Mbarali Kame, a PhD holder, not in medicine, a PhD holder in Arabic language, a former director, Moi University, Uma University, College of Islamic Study, and also Munawar College here. Thank you so much, my brother Muhammad and the team from Msaun. Our director, Dr. Sarah, isn't it, or Professor? When you heard the name Sarah, most of the time you think you will find a buibui here, isn't it? Lishe buibui kabisa hapa. Thank you. Basi mmoja atakuwa atabidi ajitolea. Okay. Professor, thank you so much, first of all. Before I reach about Mombasa County, what we are doing to our students at the level of secondary level to university level to our colleges, I'm very sure we have Form 4 students here. At least many of you are Form 4 students. 100% sure you're waiting for you to join university here in Kenya. And how many schools do you have here? Al-Farisi, are they there? Al-Farisi, Star of the Sea, Coast Girls. Sasa mmechagua shule gani, madam? Hebu nielezeni shule gani na shule gani? Secretary has just nearby here. My director Amir, you can come forward. Before I give the microphone to my director, Human Resource Department of Education, let me say like this. We have Professor Sarah here, and myself, a senior lecturer from Moi University. When you see my name, all my title at the PhD, the first question to you, PhD stand for what? No. Yes. Amiri. Yes, madam. Doctor of Philosophy. Am I say correct, madam? You sure? Zote nikupatia 1000 yako. Sawa? Okay, another question is coming to you. Just listen kindly. It's a very tough question. When you finish your Form 4, Kenya is well known as O level. Isn't it? Some of you definitely they will go to diploma. Different diplomas we have. I'm asking you, we have Professor Sarah here. Tell you enter where, you reach where until you are given a title as a professor. Wacha tusikilize adhani kwanza kidogo. Just a minute tumalize adhani kidogo. Uko sawa? Madam, are you okay? Uko mzima eh? La hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Hayya ala salat. Hi. Let us stay tuned. Who's going to answer this question? Don't give that big man there. Bismillah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. After? Yes. 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 Then? Eh? Give the mic to another. Yes, kijana. Mwacheni huyo kidogo msikilize. Yes. 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 Okay, shikilia mic vizuri kidogo, unasongesha mic. Repeat after PhD. Yes. Huyu amefikia kiasi fulani. Wacha tuone ikiwa hatutopata basi nitampatia huyu. Okay. Ladies. Tumpatie ladies sasa. Peleka mic kwa ladies. Okay, peleka kwa ladies. Okay, madam. Stand kidogo. Usimame. Okay. Listen kindly. Yes. 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 Nyinyi mnampigia makofi, mimi mwenyewe sijapiga makofi. Okay. Basi imetosha. Thank you so much, madam. I think 500 you will share. Sawa, eh? Okay. I think if you finish your, not your O level, O level, there's no need for you C+ and above. Directly you go to university, isn't it? The diploma ones, they are the one who they didn't score C+ and above. Let us pray, all of us, we are going to score C+ and above, we go to university. After, you go to master degree, isn't it? Master degree, 100% sure, ikiwa ni mwanafunzi ambaye unajitahidi, you will register for the PhD, isn't it? But what next after PhD is not easy for you to reach a title of a professor. At least, if I'm not wrong, at the CUE criteria for 4 years, teaching at the level of universities. Understood? After you publish, Technical University of Mombasa, we have announced this year, it will be the first year for TUM to announce medical courses. First year. And we thank God we have already announced. We are waiting until 15th of July, the selection to start for Mombasa County boot camp for 2 weeks. We are picking you somewhere. We are going to pay you. You are going to eat breakfast, lunch, and also supper. We are going to train you. After that, 2 weeks, you have a diploma certificate. There is a lot of cry in Kenya. A lot. Here in Mombasa, student scores A-. Na mzazi anakukujia anakuambia waziri us and Kampala International University. Mombasa County, we were given 50 slots, medical slots, Mombasa County. Look at our posters. And those who scores also A-, we shall pick them to join. Scores also A-, we shall pick them to join, taking club to us. Wanafunzi wenzangu, Madam Sarah, thank you so much for this privilege. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Msaada somewhere or somehow. You can add somewhere or somehow. You can hear that Al-Kulitoliana Basari. Na His Excellency the Governor Abdul Somad Basari, na His Excellency the Governor Abdul Somad in future za kuendelea university mimi. Daktari Mwarali is here. Kuendelea university mimi. Daktari Mwarali is here. He'll find a solution for you. He is always find a solution for you. He is always busy on the phone, finding solution on the phone, finding solution for the people of Mombasa. Hamtapata sijui, lakini hamtapata minister ambaye yuko hapo kuangalia sijui Ronaldo sijui ndani yote hayo hayana maana kama nini? For the first time kutakuwa na function ambayo haijafanyika. Tumeelewana?
We thank you. We're truly honored. We hope this becomes an annual event, and we hope you continue to grace us with your presence. Thank you. I would like to call Professor Sarah to hand over the certificate to Dr. Mbwarali. And then we'll come back for